Special thanks to the K Family Foundation, lead underwriters for Mosaic. Hello, my name is Barbara Kay, and on behalf of the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County, I'd like to welcome you to our program, Mosaic. Our special focus on Mosaic today is making the world a better place. We'll be back with our guests and our program right after this brief message.
The Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County makes so much possible every day.
Serving tens of thousands of kosher meals to seniors and families through food pantries, the Jewish Hunger Response, holiday meals, and on-site meal programs.
Operating the Jewish Community Assistance Network in 6 local communities to provide health, wellness, and social programs to more than 2,000 seniors.
But we need your help. Volunteer your time. Pledge your support. Make a difference. Thank you for your generous support.
Welcome back to Mosaic, Jenny. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, Barbara.
You are the Associate Director of the Albert Jewish Family and Children's Service, a remarkable opportunity that the Federation offers this community, a beneficiary agency. Let's talk a little bit about the mission of the JF&CS.
Well, the mission is a very large one. It's Tikkun Olam, and we know we cannot do that alone. We cannot repair or help the world and heal the world. However, we try and do that in a variety of ways. We serve people of all ages, and we serve them in a variety of different ways. So we have programs across a continuum, and one of the things that I think is a myth about Jewish Family and Children's Service is that we're sometimes perceived as the place to go where people get help when they're needy. And actually, we are the place to come for Jewish people who have needs.
Oh, that's interesting. It's a differential. Yeah, go ahead.
So we serve people with needs, and needs occur in all kinds of ways, in all types of, across ages. And so some of the programs we have are specifically for children. We have your traditional kinds of services like counseling, like support groups. We actually have a child psychiatrist on staff, Dr. Kirshner, who it's very unique to have someone of her caliber on staff, and particularly for this community as well. And then we also have services that are focused on older adults. We have care management, enhanced companion services, which is part of our AmeriCorps program, giving back, volunteers. And then we also have programs like our ambassador program, which is outreach to the community. We have services as well, adult psychiatry for adults and older adults. And then for anybody who has need, children, families, we have counseling services and a variety of other types of outreach programs.
What a remarkable resource you are for the community, you know, when I think about it, because we have a lot of people, first of all, we have a preponderance of elderly people living in our area that are really living a lot without family around. So we become like the family for them.
We really do, and it's not uncommon, unfortunately, because what research shows is that about 80% of older adults have family members living close by, but that doesn't take into account Southeast Florida, where we have naturally created situations where we've created age-segregated communities, where there are no younger people, and so there's natural supports really don't exist. And so oftentimes it is the Jewish community, the resources. We firmly believe that the buck stops with us because the public system is almost non-existent. We rank 49th.
I read that. It used to be 48th, now it's 49.
Yeah, which is hard to believe that actually Alabama's doing better than we do in Southeast Florida, and particularly in Florida generally in terms of taking care of its most vulnerable citizens. So now we're just next to last in terms of Mississippi.
That doesn't speak too well for us, but it gives you a big workload. Seriously, though, about something else. We're on location today, and I should explain that to our viewers up front. We're at the Deckelbaum home, which is for challenged adults. And you have a program for that, too.
Right. One of our agencies is the Leven Jewish Residential and Family Services. And we have 2 group homes and a series of apartments in a very upscale, very pretty complex. We're at one of the group homes today, which is the Deckelbaum group home, where there are 7 residents living. They all have disabilities. They range in age. And we're very, very fortunate that we have a facelift going on today.
Yes, we have a lot of volunteers and young children and their parents here helping to repair this world and this house.
Yes, and so the theme goes on.
Before we segue to the young teens, I wanted to ask you about 2 programs that you have in place which are really quite phenomenal. One you developed. It's called the Ambassadors Program. Share what it is, and then we'll speak to some people who are involved with it.
The Ambassadors Program is somewhat of a non-traditional outreach program. We actually engage people from their gated communities, bring them together, teach them leadership skills, and then they go out into their own communities and engage people from their communities, and they act as a link, as a resource to services, and they're trained to do that.
They are trained. I understand that they meet once a week and, was it once a month?
Once a month.
That's right, once a month.
Once a month. And then we actually have selected 5 last time, and we're about to start with another 6. And they kind of are Rosh ambassadors, if you will, because when you think of the numbers of ambassadors that we potentially can have, it's almost like creating kind of middle management so that as the numbers grow, we have a group of ambassadors who really can be the Rosh ambassadors within the group.
What is it? I think they work in about 20 gated communities.
They're in 20 gated communities, and we have at any one time approximately 50 very active ambassadors, and we have about 80, some come, some are snowbirds, some go on vacations, but they're still wanting to be involved in lifelong learning.
Listen, I heard you won a national award for this.
Yes, we did, through the Alliance for Children and Families, and we're very proud of that. It really is a unique model.
Yeah, well, it's being replicated now, and it's all thanks to you, personally. So
Well, thank you.
Kudos.
Barbara. It's really everyone else who makes it happen. I might have the idea, but everyone else makes it happen.
Nonetheless, you have another one called the Companionship Program.
Yes, the Companionship Program actually started many, many years ago. The model was established back in the late 80s, which is really seniors helping seniors. And it's kind of morphed over the years, and right now is part of a Legacy Corps, which is an AmeriCorps federal program. And so we're contracted through the University of Maryland to provide this service. And we have about 24 that we're about to train, coming up for April. And at any one time, we have a 55, what we call enhanced companions. And they provide services like meal preparation, transportation to doctor's appointments. They'll even go with someone and sit with them while they have chemotherapy treatments. Yeah. And then they also do grocery shopping and kind of help socialize in any kind of way that's needed.
You know something, you were very sweet, and you brought a couple of people along for me to meet. So I thank you, Jenny. You really have done a marvelous job, and good luck.
Thanks a lot, Barbara.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Welcome, Annette and Marlene. A pleasure to have both of you here. We were just talking with Jenny earlier about the fact that the Ambassadors Program is a huge success, and it's going to be replicated all over this country, and it was developed right here. And you are the professional involved with it?
Yes, I am.
And you are the volunteer?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about what it's like to organize this, Annette.
What's fascinating about organizing this is the fact that so many people care about their neighbors. And that because of that, They are interested in learning more, which is extremely important for this program, in order to give them information. Nobody comes from Palm Beach County. Everyone comes from somewhere else. They don't know what's available down here. And so these ambassadors are learning all the time how to talk to their neighbors, how to look for things and maybe give them some information that they wouldn't normally have so that they can get the help they need when they need it.
Yes, really quite amazing. What motivated your involvement?
Basically, I saw a great need in my community. Over 1/3 of our people are aging in place and they're widows or widowers, and their family is far, far away. And not knowing anything about Palm Beach County, I saw and realized there was this fantastic opportunity to learn about it. And we did learn, and we are constantly learning.
So what is it you actually do, literally?
We have attended very in-depth workshops and training on everything and anything they have thought of that we would need. Basically, we've been trained to be conduits of information. We see and diagnose a need before it's a crisis, if we can, and then through the communication skills that they've given us, and there's a path that they explain and tell us, we connect the people who need help with the services that are available.
You know, that's really quite amazing when you think about it, because you're there for these people in times of very big need. And also, you also become a resource for them in terms of whatever services they need.
That's just exactly what it is. A lot of people cannot drive, so there is great transportation need for the elderly, and we learned through our workshops where and how to hook these people up with very reasonable transportation. That's one of the problems we see. Yeah. And there's just many, but basically I like what Anita said about being a good neighbor and helping people before it's a crisis.
Yeah, that's terrific. What a good heart you have. How do you keep tabs and check on what's taking place?
That's a very interesting question. Every month, an ambassador will give me a help sheet that they fill out. If they made phone calls, if they did shopping for them, if they did home visits or hospital visits, and I tally that. And since its inception, the ambassadors have put in over 3,900 outreach hours to people and have reached over 2,500, almost 2,600 people.
Oh my goodness. That's tremendous.
And it's only just begun.
Yeah,
We're just started.
How do you get involved? I mean, how did you know about this?
A neighbor called me and asked me if I would like to come and sit in on a session. But I'd like to say, with this help sheet that she gave us directions and guidance, Annette and Jenny, exactly what we can do, what safely, what we cannot do, and how far to give. Because there is a line, there is a balance, and they teach you and train you. Because you just can't go in and rescue the whole situation.
No, and actually you have to have pretty big control factor in place, I would think.
Exactly so, because we talk an awful lot about confidentiality, because everybody is a neighbor to each other. And we also talk about the scope, about not driving people all over to doctors, and that's another program that you'll be hearing about soon. And also about making sure that these people are aware that they can be trusted. So we do, we check on them, and we have confidence in them, and it's just a very warm feeling.
All right, so if anybody wants to get involved, become an ambassador, they get in touch with the Albert Jewish Family and Children's Service and say, I want to be an ambassador.
Absolutely, and we will welcome them. And they shouldn't worry if they're a snowbird or not, or if they come in and they come out, and they're not there all the time. We'll be glad to help their community.
Terrific. Thank you for sharing that with us. We'll be back with the remainder of this remarkable program right after this brief message.
The Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County makes so much possible every day.
Connecting more than 1,600 area middle and high school students to social, educational, and volunteer programs through the Jewish Teen Initiative.
working with area congregations to engage the community in Jewish life through the Synagogue Institute.
But we need your help. Volunteer your time. Pledge your support. Make a difference. Thank you for helping us build community together. Thank you for your generous support.